everybody. So I am just going to do a little chit chat. Get ready with me this morning. I sound a bit funny because it's earlier than I'm used to getting up of late. So I'm going to listen to some music while I answer the questions and do my makeup. Normally, because I do actually watch YouTube or listen to music while I'm getting ready, but I have my phone that I'm actually recording on, so that's not going to work. So I'm just going to play some tunes, answer some questions, do my makeup at the same time. So the first question is, if you had a time machine, would you go back in time or visit the future? I think I would probably go back in time just because I love old school type things. It's one of the reasons why I love where I live, because they really, really cherish the history here. So it's one thing I appreciate about living where I am right now. Where I used to live, there's not so much history around there. So yeah, I would prefer to probably go back in time. So the second question is, would you rather have a home on the beach or in the mountains? This is a tough one for me because like house questions, man, I don't know, because I dream about so many things. Like ideally would love to build on my partner's family farm because the views from up there are absolutely stunning. We get from their highest point on their farm, you get views out towards the mountains, like, and the beach out towards the cliffs, which is like really, really stunning. So I would love to build a house there, but it's on a mountain overlooking a beach. So I guess both mountain and beach, because why not have a house that's on a mountain that overlooks the beach and have all like a win-win situation? So what was your favorite game as a child? I'm wondering if they mean like game as in board game or as in like outside game, because I don't know. I used to really, really want the game Mousetrap when I was growing up because my friends had it and I thought it was just the funnest game ever. I still think it's a pretty good game, but I really like Pluto as well. And we have this tradition in my well, it's not really a tradition, it's kind of a tradition that I think I probably started, where we used to every Christmas play a game of backyard cricket with the family. As we've gotten older and we're all like off doing our own little things, it's not really attainable. So now I prefer to play a board game each Christmas. So I tend to get my mum a board game, usually my mum a board game, and we play that at Christmas. So when I was younger, we played Cluedo, and my cousin, God love him, I always call him a little cheater because he clued on to, with Cluedo, you know how you have the piece of paper and you have the names, the weapon and the room. He clued on to ticking wherever on the sheet you ticked. So we had to learn pretty quickly to fake tick them all so that he didn't know what one we were ticking, because you'd get like Mr. Green, someone would show you their Mr. Green card, so you'd tick that and then you'd put your paper down. Where he would see that you ticked the top of your page, so go, oh yeah, they must have Mr. Green. So he would tick it himself and he would always win, and it pissed me off. I was like, how did he do that? Like, how did he win every single time? Until we clued onto it. So yeah, I'd probably say Cluedo is one of my favorite games and I still love playing it to this day. The next question is, what food do you crave most often? And I don't think that I have a food that I crave most often, but I just crave anything bad, really. Like, I never crave anything good. Does anyone ever crave anything good? Like, honestly, but my favorite food would probably be hot chips. I just love hot chips. Honestly, so good. Can't go wrong with hot chips. If you could visit one place on Earth, where would you go? When I was younger, I would have said to you America, but as I've gotten older, I think probably Canada, because it's just such a beautiful place and the people seem like they're really, really lovely. I used to say America when I was younger, and I always wanted to go to Texas and go to a ranch and like ride horses there, but now I think probably Canada. The other place I really, really loved when I was little was Egypt, and I used to collect these magazines about Egypt. I think it was because of the crazy history of Egypt that I loved it, but I've kind of outgrown that now. What would your dream house be like? So as I said a bit earlier, I would love to build on my partner's family farm, and because of the views, they're like 180 views, almost 360 views. We've kind of designed I have kind of designed mentally in my head. I'm not sure if he agrees. But in my head, I've designed kind of like a triangular shaped house just because I would love the kitchen to be here facing towards the beach, and then the master bedroom to be out here facing towards the Parongarups, and then the rest of the beds out here to be facing towards kind of like Shelley Beach way. That's kind of the way that I ideally see my dream house now. I also really love tiny houses. I love the idea of a tiny house, but in reality, having 3 dogs and your partner, I think the dream of having a tiny house is if you are a single person or a young couple who essentially can live like that. But then again, I do know Beck Barlow and her family that are traveling around in a massive bus that they call Big Betty, and that's honestly so inspiring. Like, for them to be able to take their family and go traveling the way that they do is just amazing. So that would be a dream too. If you could own 3 cars, what would they be? Okay, so first up, hands down, everyone knows this. Well, everyone that knows me well knows this. First car, if I had all the money in the world, I would buy a Kombi. I just love Kombis and what they stand for. Like, they just make me think of happiness and summer and holidays, and if I could drive one of those, I would be so happy. They have a bit of issues with them. You need to really look after them because they're renowned for catching on fire. Yeah. You probably didn't think I was going to say that now, did you? Often have problems with their fuel lines and they catch fire, so you have to get like a system installed that is like a blaze cutter type thing, that when it senses a fire, it cuts the engine and like sprays water on it. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. That would be one of them. The second one would probably be the newest Mustangs. They're pretty reasonably priced. I'm not sure if anyone's actually looked into them, but they're only like 60 grand or something, which to me is the same price as a Holden, so why would you not go a Stang? And then the third car would probably be a 4-wheel drive, a reliable 4-wheel drive. I don't know if that even exists, but I think just living or coming from Esperance and living somewhere that's still predominantly very like beach driven and off-roading, I would say you definitely a 4-wheel drive. So then you've got your fun off-road car, your everyday Stang car, and then your Kombi dream car. What makes you the angriest? I don't really think that there's any one thing that kind of makes me angry. I'm a pretty tolerant person and I tend to just keep on and carry on, whatever that saying is, but I can get really frustrated, and that annoys me because I get frustrated and then I kind of just like blow up, and I hate that about myself. The other thing that makes me angry is the noises dogs make when they lick themselves. The reason I'm saying this is because in the middle of the night last night I couldn't sleep, and then one of the dogs started licking himself, and I was like, oh my god, if he doesn't stop, I'm gonna lose it. So I waited for a bit and he didn't stop. So I ended up getting up and going to check on him to see what the frig he was actually doing. The little f***er was licking his asshole on the couch in the middle of the night. Have dogs, they said. It would be fun, they said. They lied. What always brings a smile to your face? Probably food. Cake. Nah. I think a beautiful sunset, for one. 2, my partner, because he constantly makes me smile. Yeah, I don't know. Food does really make me happy, which is why I'm probably still chunky. Probably the 3 things that make me smile. Yeah. Sunset, my partner, and food. Which song reminds you the most of your life? How fitting, Thank You Next just came on in my ear. Yeah, possibly Thank You Next. No, I don't really know. The one song that I always seem to relate to is Dust in the Wind by Kansas. It's an old song and it's one of the songs that I really want played at my funeral. I have like a list in my phone of songs that I want played at my funeral. How sad is that? I also have a list of baby names in my phone, so don't stress too hard, guys. But yeah, Dust in the Wind by Kansas, because it's just like talking about how we're all just dust in the wind. Like life just like sweeps us along, and yeah, that's probably the one song that reminds me the most of my life. Next question is, which is more important, truth or happiness? This one's a hard one. Which is more important, truth or happiness? Truth? I'd say, because I'd rather know the honest truth than to be made happy. Like, I would rather someone tell me the truth than tell me a lie to keep me happy. Do you know what I mean? I've had a couple of partners who, if they were just honestly truthful with me from the get-go, or not from the get-go, but if they were honestly truthful with me, like brutally truthful with me, rather than trying to just say all the things that that they think I want to hear to keep me happy, I probably would be in a really different spot in my life, which is not bad. Like, I don't regret anything in my life at all, but it would have saved a lot of dicking around in the meantime. And then, though, would I be in the same position I am in right now? Who knows? Who knows? You never know. You never know. Would you rather be rich or famous? I think I would just honestly rather be quietly rich, because when you're famous, you don't get any privacy. And I think I genuinely appreciate having some privacy or like some form of privacy. I'm pretty open and honest with people, but I do need time out sometimes, and it stresses me out to think, you know, if I was famous, then everyone would know who I am, and I'd be like walking down the street and people would be like freaking out. Like, that stresses me out. I would hate that. If you were a superhero, what powers would you have? Invisibility. I think being able to be invisible would be freaking awesome. Imagine just like walking down the street and like pulling someone's hair like up in the air while they're walking. They'd be like, what the hell? That'd be so funny. This question says, how would be your ideal partner? I think they mean like, who would be your ideal partner? Honestly, I think I've found my ideal partner in my now partner. I've never been with someone who is so caring and genuine and someone that I can trust. Honestly, I didn't think after the last guy that I dated that I would be able to trust someone really anymore, and I'm getting emotional. And like, I still go through times where I feel really, really insecure, because some of the shit that I've been through, guys, is pretty hardcore. And dude, this is gonna ruin my chit chat. Get ready with me. Now my eyes are all red. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure I found my ideal partner in my partner that I have now. He honestly, so genuine, so caring, and I think the one thing I appreciate the most is that he really, really tries. If he sees me struggling, he knows and he takes note, and he will remember to help me, or at least ask if I want help. And yeah, he's so amazing. I don't think I have enough nice things to say about him. And it's funny because I wrote a list of things that I wanted in like my ideal partner in my like diary thing probably a couple of years ago, and he ticks pretty much every single one of those boxes, which is pretty funny because I was like, I'm never going to be able to find a guy like that. And it blows my mind. Anyway, moving on. If you could change anything about yourself, what would it be? I remember saying at my pop's funeral to his nephews, I think, that I wish that I was more like my mum in a way, because my mum and my pop were quite similar to an extent. And I said I wish I was more like my mum, and they turned around and they said to me, yeah, but if you were more like your mum, then you wouldn't have been able to get up there and say that beautiful speech about your pop like you did. And I thought, yeah, that's true. So I don't really think that there's anything much that I would like to change about myself if I could. I mean, obviously I would love to have a bikini body and just be so stunning and just, you know, all that sort of stuff. But I'm pretty happy with who I am and where I am. And yeah, this question straight after that question just makes me go, what? It says, would you rather trade some intelligence for looks or looks for intelligence? Like I just said, I'm pretty bloody happy with where I am at the moment. So I don't want either of those. I'm happy the way I am. If your parents hate the partner you love, would you ditch him or her or carry on with them despite the protests? I am so lucky, guys. My parents are supportive of myself and my sister no matter what. Pretty sure we've both had our fair share of doozies, and our parents still love and support us. Like, they forked out for 2 weddings in 1 year, both of which the marriages failed. So if that doesn't show you what my parents are like, then I don't know what will. My parents are always really supportive. They are amazing, and I would never ever change my parents or the upbringing I have had for anything in this world. If you could choose one celebrity to be the father/mother of your child, who would it be? I've thought about this just then for ages, and then I honestly do not know. I keep thinking Channing Tatum, but I don't know why I keep thinking Channing Tatum. I would honestly just want a good father for my children. That's honestly the one thing I could wish for, is parents like my parents. This question's really easy. You're walking to work, a dog is drowning in the canal on the side of the street. Your boss told you if you are late one more time, you'll be fired. Will you save the dog? Yes. That's not even a question. Duh. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why? When I was little, I would always say I wanted to be a horse, but that's just because I loved horses so much. But now that I'm older, a bird. Like, why wouldn't you want to be a bird? So much freedom, fly wherever you want, do whatever you want, go wherever you want. If you could be trained up in any profession of your choice by top professionals, what profession would you choose? I guess this is the same as like, what would your dream job be? I don't bloody know. I don't really have like a dream job. I always wanted to train horses when I was little, which I guess I kind of did that working for racing stables. I worked for a couple of racing stables as a teenager, but I've really lost my nerve with horses now, which sucks. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe makeup, because there are some pretty dope makeup artists out there, and I still have a lot that I could learn from people. So yeah, maybe makeup. That is the last question. So this is the finished look and the 21 questions. I think it was 21. We'll just go with that if it wasn't 21. Anyway, thanks guys. Ciao.